Welcome to my first reading vlog. I haven't done this before, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try it out for the month of October, and if it goes well, then maybe I'll continue doing it for the rest of the year. Anyways, it is September 30th. I'm really excited for tomorrow because I get to start my October spooky books. I've been waiting, holding off because I really wanted to start reading these books on October 1st. So I've just been finishing up what I was already in the middle of. Today I finished the Starless Sea, the audiobook. So that was the last thing I needed to finish, and I finished it today, and it was really, really good. I feel, I'm not sure how I feel about the ending yet. I have to think about it for a little bit, but overall I really, really liked it. So I did do an October TBR where I laid out all the books that I was planning on. Well, I'm not going to read all of them, but all the books that I'm going to be picking through for this month, and I'm going to try and get through as many of them as I can. However, over the weekend I did add a couple, so yeah, I'm definitely not going to get to all of them. The first one that I added was Sandman Slim by Richard Kadrey. This was actually already on my bookshelf, but I forgot that it was there, so I was going through my shelf, kind of fixing it up, cleaning it up, and I saw this and was like, hey, this is I think it would be classified as horror. It's a hitman who escapes from hell, so I think that fits for October. I decided to add it to the list, and I'm actually pretty excited to read this. It sounds like an entertaining read, so I'm looking forward to starting that. And then I picked up at the bookstore Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. Now, this, I picked it up because this is the author who also wrote The Only Good Indians, and I am interested in reading that. However, it was full price at the bookstore. This was half the price, or a little less. It was like only $8, and the other book was $20. So I decided I would try this out, and then if I like the writing, if I like his storytelling, then I'll feel more inclined to try out the other book. Plus, this being a short read is really good for this month. I need short reads so that I can get through everything. Plus, it's about a killer mannequin, so that's so random, and I really want to try it out. And then the other thing that I picked up is a short story collection, Japanese Ghost Stories by Lafcadio Hearn. So I love ghost stories. They're my favorite kind of horror story, favorite kind of scary story. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. Plus, since it's short stories, I don't have to read all of it at once. I can do a little bit here and there throughout the month. I already have a short story collection, but it doesn't hurt to have more short stories. I like short stories. Tomorrow, the first thing I plan on reading is The Small Hand. It's in my work bag right now. The reason I picked that one to read first is because, why? Oh yeah, because Suzanne Hill apparently is good at spooky atmosphere, and I think that that would be good for setting the mood for October. I'll either read both The Small Hand and Dolly one after the other, or I'll read The Small Hand and then move on to something else and read Dolly later on in the month. But we'll see. I think it depends on if I like The Small Hand. So yeah, I'm really excited to start tomorrow. I do have to work, but I don't have to work Friday, so once I get out of work on Thursday, I can do whatever I want. Meaning I can focus on reading. I'm really excited. So yeah, it is now Saturday, October 3rd. I was going to do an update last night, but I didn't end up doing it, so this video will only have 2 updates. Next week will be a full week, so I will have more updates throughout the week in the next video. So I started on Thursday the 1st. I started with The Small Hand and Dolly, like I thought I was going to, like I anticipated, even though I was very tempted to pick something else up because I just can't make up my mind. So I started The Small Hand and Dolly. I read it Thursday into Friday. I finished The Small Hand around supper time on Friday, and I thought about picking something else up instead of reading Dolly, but then I just read Dolly and I finished it last night. So I have finished this book by Susan Hill, or the two books in this book. I liked it a lot. I think I liked The Small Hand more than Dolly. The Small Hand sort of felt more complete and made more sense. Dolly felt a little bit more all over the place, and I didn't really understand the narrator. He was very forgetful, and it kind of confused me sometimes, like what he was remembering and what he wasn't, or like what he believed and what he didn't. Because like one moment I thought he believed in like something supernatural happening, and then the next moment I was like, no, he doesn't believe that. He's totally brushing it aside and just forgot that this spooky thing even happened. But whatever. They were both slow builds. In The Small Hand, things don't get really sinister till like a third to halfway through the story, and then the end is pretty dark. But despite the slow builds, they were still pretty spooky. I think the slow build made the spookiness and like the terrifying aspects in the second half of the book even more powerful, because everything had been so normal in the beginning, almost like to catch you off guard. And it did catch me off guard, because I started to second guess myself and think, is this a scary story? I don't know. This seems to be just about a guy and experiences this weird sort of ghostly moment in the beginning, but it's not super scary. It's kind of like comforting, sort of, in a weird way, just accepting it. And then eventually things take a turn for the worse. Yeah, so I liked that. I have also started Interview with the Vampire. I've been listening to the audiobook. I'm about a little over 10% through, and I really like it so far. I'm really enjoying it. The narrator's doing a great job. I really like the interview style. I know when I picked up the physical book a few years ago, I was turned off by the style of it. The fact that it was primarily dialogue. I did not like that. And I ended up putting it down and not giving it another chance until now. And I really, really like it so far. It probably won't take me long to get through it. Usually it takes me a whole month, but I don't think this is gonna take me a whole month. I might finish it halfway through the month, and then I could probably pick up another audiobook after that. I have no idea what I'm gonna pick up, so that's exciting. And then yesterday I also started, well, I didn't actually start any Japanese ghost stories. I've been reading the introduction, which is a biography, sort of like a short biography of the author, Lafcadio Hearn. He's led an interesting life. He's gone different places, lived in different places. Some introductions I don't like to read because, especially for classics, they have spoilers, which is so frustrating when they do, because it's like they assume that you know what's gonna happen, which is fair with classics. They've been out for like 100 to 150 years, so like you've had plenty of time to read it. But I hate it when I read an introduction and then it gives away like a crucial plot point, and I'm like, I didn't know that. I haven't actually read the book. But the introduction in this is all about the author, so no spoilers. Plus it's ghost stories, it's a collection of short stories, so it's not like there's one overarching narrative that's gonna get spoiled. Yeah. Anyway, as for the next book I'm going to read, I have no idea. There's a couple that I'm thinking about, but I have such a hard time making a decision. Like, I won't make the decision until I pick up the book, because all the way up to that point, I think, like, I could pick up this other book. Right now, I'm in between, sort of in between. There's so many books that I just want to read right now. Anyway, I'm in between We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, Mercy by Sarah Thomson, and Cujo by Stephen King. So every time I think, oh yeah, I'm going to pick up this book, I immediately have the thought, but I could pick up this other one instead. I don't know what I'm going to do. So you'll find out in the next vlog which book I pick. Let me know if there are any books on the TBR. If you watch the TBR video, you'll know all the books that are on my list. If there are any that you're most interested in, maybe I'll try and pick it up sooner. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. And hit the bell if you want to be notified when I post next. Thanks for watching again, and have a nice day. Bye.